Welcome to another video. Right guys, this is just a quick video and it's quite important. There are some big visa changes coming along here, especially for ESL teachers, which to be fair is the majority of foreigners who come to work here in China. Now these new laws are about to go into effect probably tomorrow, so we'll have a better and clearer idea, but so far I've had a lot of subscribers contacting me and I've had lots of people just around in China contacting me, telling me about these. And I think it's important for me to get them out there so people understand what's going on. Now, something you have to understand about Chinese visas is there are a lot of very strict rules and regulations to get a visa. But in the past, they haven't really been enforced all that well. So certain things that are written down that you need, they often don't ask for. That's changing, and it has been changing. The biggest difference right here, and the person that this is going to affect the most, is of course non-native English speakers. Now, you'll be surprised, but here in China, not just Shenzhen where I live, all over China, people teaching English, I'd say a vast majority of them in fact are not native English speakers. So you'll get people from Poland or Russia or Ukraine or whichever cities and countries around the world coming here to teach English, because if you've got a white face, you can get a job at pretty much any English training center or kindergarten. And in the past, as long as you had a degree, a 4-year bachelor's degree, a little bit of working experience, it's usually 2 years working experience, and a TEFL, which is teaching English as a foreign language certificate, then you could get an English teaching job, you could get a proper working visa. However, this has changed. Now, if you are not a native English speaker, you cannot get an English teaching job. They've taken that off the table. That's what this new law is all about. I've been told from actual training centers and schools, people that are working there. A subscriber of mine yesterday sent me a message saying that they're not going to be renewing his contract because he is not a native speaker. He's working in Shanghai at the moment, and they basically said, sorry, but as of the next month, they're not going to be able to be hiring anyone who's not a native speaker. So this is who it's going to basically affect. Now there are some other people it's going to affect as well, and that is it's unfortunately quite common that people will use a forged degree in order to get a work visa. This has been quite common in the past here, and a lot of people have gotten away with it. Not everybody. In first tier cities like Shenzhen and Shanghai and Beijing, it's almost impossible because they require you to go and apostle your degree at a notary which is, basically it needs to be translated and notarized, and it has to be a government sanctioned notary, and it's quite difficult to get past all of that nonsense with a fake degree. However, it's gotten even harder now. Now you have to get it apostilled from your own embassy, as far as I've been told. That might or might not be true, but you have to get it apostilled through your own country's embassy and stamped and everything. So it's going to be a little bit harder for people who are sneaking through on sort of fake papers. And of course, the big thing is now, if you're working for somebody and you renew your contract, it's not a big deal. Usually they just renew your foreign expert certificate. That's something you have. And then you can move on to your next job. Well, keep working for the same company. If you want to move to another job, you can usually get it transferred, your foreign expert certificate. The new job just basically will take it over and transfer. If you go that route, you usually can avoid having to resubmit all your documents again. But if you quit your job and you start a new job and you have to get a new visa, first of all, you have to fly back to your own country now. That's been a rule for a while. You can't just pop into Hong Kong or something or try use an agent. You actually have to go back to your own country to apply for the visa. And then you're going to have to resubmit all your documents, get them apostilled and translated and all that nonsense again. So people have been kind of riding this wave of maybe they got their work certificate through dodgy means and they've been renewing. If you change jobs, just be aware that you're going to have to resubmit all your documents again, go for your police interview, all that nonsense all over again. So guys, basically, the be all and the end all is they're tightening restrictions on visas here. It's something that they've been doing over the years. When I applied for my work visa, of course, Shenzhen is a first-tier city. I had to go through all that rigmarole of actually getting my degree and all my papers apostilled and stamped through the correct channels, and it wasn't easy. I had to go for police interviews and all that. So the thing is, it's just getting harder and harder. So bear that in mind. If you're not a native English speaker, you're not going to be able to get legally an English teaching job here. However, this brings about a little bit of a problem. You know, I know how it works here. I've been living here for a long time. I'd say a good 80% of the foreigners that I know here who are teaching English, at least 80%, probably more, are actually teaching illegally on business visas or tourist visas, that kind of thing. And they just have little agreements with their training centers or their kindergartens, and if the cops are going to show up, they sort of give them warning and tell them to run out the back door. It's silly, I know. But I can see that these new laws and regulations are just going to be forcing people to move from being legal to illegal. So I guess the market's going to be flooded with illegals, and there are going to be a lot of crackdowns. So I don't see this as a good thing. I see it as a rather silly thing, because especially the non-native speakers who've gone through all the trouble of getting legal visas, being chased away like that is basically just going to compound the problem and cause more of the problem they're trying to solve by implementing these new rules. But that's China, you know, it's never really logical. So guys, I thought I'd just get that out there. We'll know for sure, and I'll give you guys an update once the official rules have been released. But that's all the news through the grapevine, and I've seen sort of news postings on this. And of course, I've heard from schools and training centers who have told me personally that as of next month, they will not be able to hire legally. They're not going to be able to hire any sort of non-native speaker. Okay guys, best you check with your employer if you're going to come over here that everything's going to be okay. Don't trust dodgy agents. You'll be alright. And if you have any questions, please leave them below. I'll try and get back to you in the next video. Till next time guys, I know this is a quick one. Just wanted to get it out there so you guys are aware. Till next time, as always, remember, stay awesome.